There's a term called the spillover effect. You put water in one, it overflows, and it starts filling these other cups. Dancing's that. Dancing gets you in a state of joy right away. But then you start moving and swaying and in flow, and by the end of it, you have a good sweat, and you are ecstatic. And in flow, it means that everything seems to stop. And it's just you and the person you're dancing with.
It's a dance-off.
Dance!
This is
100% rehearsed.
absolutely, yeah, that was in the script. So one of the things that we also are kind of exploring with regards to skills that we learn every day that can elevate our life. How does the skill of dancing help me elevate my life? And I'm a dancer, bro. I love to dance.
I love it. Love it.
But I never really thought that learning the skill of dancing was something that was going to, help me in other areas of, I would say, my professional career, my communication skills, things like that.
There's a term called the spillover effect, right? So imagine like you have a bunch of cups and then you put water in one, it overflows and it starts filling these other cups, right? Dancing's that. Dancing gets you in a state of joy right away. So you're happy, you're moving, you're ecstatic. Because you can take anybody and they start off like super tense. Maybe we'll start it this way, right? But then you start moving and swaying and in flow. And by the end of it, you have a good sweat and you are ecstatic.
Yeah.
Because the endorphins in your body start releasing. You start feeling like the excitement. And then for that moment, you're in flow, which we'll talk about because flow is a big, big concept, right?
Yeah.
And in flow, it means that everything seems to stop. And it's just you and the person you're dancing with.
So
Please.
I have to stop you there. So literally, flow, which is, to me, is a word of movement.
Yeah.
It actually means stop.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate
Time
on
stops.
That. Okay, well, time stops then.
And what, not that it really does, but to you,
Sure.
in your perception, you are so enthralled and engaged. Look at yourself. Imagine when you were a kid with that toy that you so desired.
Uh-huh.
That was your world for that moment.
Sure.
And you enjoyed it with the highest thrill and exhilaration. That's the feeling that happens when you dance. Dancing, the skill of dancing, can take you from being uptight, bored, frustrated, small and constricted, to in flow and movement and dancing and swaying, like I mentioned. But let's abstract it. Again, here's the word. What is the biggest thing you can think of?
In terms of?
The world, in terms of like, when we think about something.
I mean, I personally, the universe.
The universe.
I just think how vast the universe is.
The vastness of the universe. Exactly, well put. What does universe mean? One song. Literally, the constellations, the galaxies, they're all dancing.
The dance
of life. And in this movement, we are also in turn. Even right now, if you were to slow us down in this conversation, it would look like a dance if you were to see it frame by frame.
Yeah.
And so public speaking is really dancing. It's really movement. It's you tapping into the existing life force and being able to have this synchronous movement. When you're in sync with someone, you feel it. Like you're on the same wavelength. We're really saying we're on the same dance floor.
It's a dance-off.
Dance!
We're like fist pumping. This is
100% rehearsed.
Absolutely, yeah. That was in the script. When you think about like what you just mentioned about the universe and how it is this eloquent, beautiful, already designed dance, like a waltz, like a slow dance, that really does give you some perspective on how dancing is an important skill in life. I had read, and I know you had mentioned it earlier, how dancing can even have a physical benefit for those that are like have dementia or
when it comes to mental health. Right,
mental health. There you go.
Because think of this: when you're dancing, at its core, you think, oh, it's two people moving. So what? Well, let's go deeper. Let's pause and go deeper.
Yeah.
We're talking about millions of micro interactions happening, and the mental agility required to do that. It's a muscle, right? Our brain is a muscle. We're not using it, so it atrophies. We use it, it doesn't. we are literally almost mind reading to anticipate our partner's movement, their next step, their next action. And in so doing, this expression forces you to really use the entirety of your senses, whether that's smell, touch, hear, sense, and even intuition, right? To anticipate what's ahead. And when you do that, then you're able to keep your mind in an agile. You're working out your mind and your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes so much sense because when a lot of dancing is kind of like eye contact. It's also almost like, you know, when a man leads, his body shifts forwards, backwards.
Yeah.
He's taking his partner around.
Yeah.
And I can see how that will actually help someone, you know, develop those you know, synapse or the connections in their brain.
Exactly.
To build kind of like muscle memory.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
And isn't that what the foundation of all skills is?
Yes.
The muscle memory.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Memory comes from the experience. And the experience comes from the doing.